So a very dramatic entrance for Ben Tackie, spiritual in nature. And now we are set to get it back to Jimmy Lennon Jr. for the introduction of Ricky Hatton.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, here comes the defending champion, the pride of Manchester, Ricky the Hitman Hatton.
What an amazing atmosphere here in Manchester for Britain's Boxer of the Year. Ricky Hatton, the hottest ticket in town. It doesn't matter who he's fighting. It is just deafening. As we take a look at the tail of the tape, Hatton, 5 years younger than Tackie, who some consider an old 30. 3-inch height advantage for Tackie. Hatton gives away 6 inches in reach. At yesterday's weigh-in, both came in under, although it took Tackie 2 tries. The notable rules: no standing 8, no 3 knockdown. A fighter cannot be saved by the bell in any round. If a fighter cannot continue due to an injury from an accidental foul, he'll be declared the loser by TKO. Be mindful, Tackie comes in with his head, and Hatton cuts a lot. So here at the MEN Arena in Manchester, England, we are getting ready for our main event. Ricky Hatton versus Ben Tackie for the WBU 140-pound championship. Hatton's never lost. He elevates his game here in his hometown. Tackie's never been stopped. He's always dangerous. We obviously know who is the crowd favorite, but who's the favorite when the bell rings? That's what the many fans came here to see between Ricky Hatton and Ben Tackie. The crowd is on its feet. Let's go to Jimmy Lennon Jr. for the official introduction.
Ladies and gentlemen in attendance, live and exclusive across the UK on Sky Sports, and to our boxing fans joining us around the world, we welcome you to the Manchester Evening News Arena here in the beautiful city of Manchester, England, as it's time for the featured bout of the evening, brought to you by Frank Warren Sports Network in association with Sky Sports, Showtime, and sponsored by Longsdale. This bout coming away is sanctioned by the WBU. The president is John Robinson, supervisor Walid Solomons, along with the British Boxing Board of Control. The steward in charge is Dennis Longton. Introducing our timekeepers at the bell, we have Barry Pinder and Gary Grennan. Now we present our judges scoring the action from ringside. From Paris, we have John Louis Legland. From Cape Town, South Africa, Eddie Marshall. And from London, we have Tony Walker. Our third man of the ring, the referee in charge of the action, is from Leeds, England, Mickey Van. All right, fans, here we go with our main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing for the WWU Light Welterweight Championship. And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance and boxing fans joining us around the world, live from Manchester, it's showtime! Introducing to you first, ladies and gentlemen, the challenger on my left, fighting out of the red corner. Wearing red trunks with white and black trim, he is fighting out of Los Angeles, California, by way of Accra, Ghana. He weighed in at a ready 9 stone, 13 pounds, or 139 US pounds. His record stands at 24 wins, 4 losses, 15 of his wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here's the former WBC, Continental Americas, and NABF champion. He is currently ranked number 10 WBU light welterweight contender. Introducing the challenger, Ben Wonder Tackie. And his opponent across the ring, ladies and gentlemen, really needing no introduction to you, his fans. On my right, fighting out of the blue corner, entering the ring, wearing blue trunks with silver and black trim. He is representing his hometown of Manchester, England, and weighed in at 9 stone, 13.5 pounds, or 139.5 US pounds. He is undefeated in his campaign to the ring with 33 wins, no losses, 25 big wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, currently ranked number 2 in the world by the WBA and number 3 by the WBC. Here is the WBU light welterweight champion, introducing the exciting and undefeated Ricky the Hitman Hatton. And once again, a referee in charge is Mickey Van, now to give instructions.
Ben, come on, son. Okay, you both had your instructions in the dressing room. Don't forget what I told you. I want no naughties with the head. Won't stand for it. Shake hands, buddy corners. Good luck.
Tackie predicts a war, saying he planned to cut Hatton up like a chicken. That lovely thought produced nary a blink from Ricky Hatton, who looks more physically fit and cut than we've seen, thanks to a nutritionist. Hatton, understanding the magnitude of this fight, the prevailing opinion that Ben Tackie is a step up, and that a victory, an impressive one at that, could put him in the same league as Kostya and Shumbe Mitchell, who meet again in February. Round 1 scheduled for 12. Mickey Van, the third man of the ring, a former circus performer. Style-wise, Hatton usually gets right to it. Tackie not a fast starter, although he started faster in his last fight.
We already have seen Ben Tackie throw 2 straight lead right hands. We know what he's thinking. And look, he wants to load up with another one. First couple of rounds, very interesting. Hatton suggesting to us he will box a little bit more and not rush Tackie. We'll see.
Boxing is not his usual tack, but knowing how well that worked for Tszyu and Mitchell when they fought Tackie, he's willing to do it. But fighters who say that often reverse to their old ways once they get hit. And Hatton is a hunter by nature.
Hatton promised us he would use the jab more, and we see him doing it there. Now here he pushes Tackie against the ropes. That will be, of course, a very important weapon for him and tool if he can get him against the ropes and work both the body and the head.
Ricky Hatton in the Manchester City-style trunks
his word early in this fight. Hatton has thrown more jabs already, I think, than we normally would see in an entire round from him, and they've been very effective.
Tackie went down for the very first time in his career in his last fight against Shambe Mitchell. So much incentive here for Ricky Hatton. There's talk of Hatton fighting Shambe Mitchell if Hatton wins tonight. It would also silence many of his critics who think he's overprotected and destined to fall at a higher level. Digging shots to the ribs by Hatton. The crowd oohing and eyeing with every punch by Hatton.
Ben Tackie working a little more on the inside than we've seen in recent fights from him when we saw him against Shambe Mitchell and Costa Zoo, and he'll need to do that if he's going to be effective. But Ricky Hatton picking up the beat here with those body shots.
As we thought, a torrid start to this fight. 30 seconds left in the first. You wonder if they can keep this pace up for 12 rounds. Will it go that long? It has been non-stop action. Another slip as Tackie was off balance. Right hand by Tackie, but blocked by Hatton. Hatton comes right back. And there's the bell to end round one. Some blistering action.
There was a moment in round one where it looked like maybe Ben Tackie had been knocked to the canvas, but this was ruled a slip, and appropriately so, by referee Mickey Van. A dicey moment for Tackie because he could have hurt himself, and then later on in the round, almost yet another mishap as he was almost pushed down by Hatton. There were some awkward moments in round one, but also some very exciting ones.
Ricky Hatton, arguably the most popular man in Manchester, particularly now with the departure of soccer idol David Beckham to Real Madrid. And they pick up where they left off with the pace in round two. And we wondered coming in, would age be a factor for Tackie? What about the inactivity?
This is a style of fight, though, that Ben Tackie at least wants. He's been in wars against the likes of Ray Oliveira and Roberto Garcia and more. He likes a man right in front of him, but it's the hand speed and youth of Hatton right now that's making the difference, and Hatton thinks that will make the difference all through the fight. We'll see. A lot of holding and hitting by both fighters, and not any warnings yet from Mickey Van. Impressive use of the jab by Hatton, and he's working many punches off that jab. So true to his word, he did come out to use that punch.
And now Tackie holding on to him by the neck. Another good jab by Ricky Hatton.
So far, over 1.5 rounds, we have not yet seen Ben Tackie driven to the ropes. So that's a plus for him, but Hatton is doing well in the center of the ring.
Good right hand to the head by Hatton. And Tackie holds on.
Both these men have been down once in their career and once only. Tackie against Shambe Mitchell and Ricky Hatton against Eamon McGee.
Hatton coming back to win. Tackie losing. Under a minute left, round two. Look at the volume of punches. Tremendous work rate by both fighters. Tackie going to the body.
You know, they say you want to go to the body against the body puncher, and in this round, in the last minute or so, Steve, Tackie has thrown some excellent body punches. What he hasn't been able to do is go back to that right hand that he threw earlier.
Hatton with a right hand of his own over the top. Hatton said the jab would be a deterrent to the big right hand of Tackie, and it's working. So far, it's a good left hand by Hatton, a lunging left, right on the cheek. And then a right cross by Hatton that got Tackie's attention.
Good lateral movement by Hatton. He is showing us the skills that he said he had.
And looks to be in excellent condition. We mentioned the nutritionist earlier as Tackie sits.
Ricky Hatton has made the early story in this fight the fact that he's using the left hand. There is a jab, that kind of a lunging jab, but very effective for Hatton. He has used that punch very, very well. And as you look at it again, you see that he is committed to that punch. He wants to land it, and it is bedeviling Ben Tackie right now.
We head into the third round. Hatton looking very impressive, boxing beautifully, using the jab thus far. He says tonight is all about quickness, movement, and balance, and his jab will be paramount. It's keeping Tackie at bay. He says he has more boxing ability than he tends to show. He's showing it here. Hatton wants to knock Tackie out, but he wants to do it sensibly, and now Tackie up against the ropes where he surely doesn't want to be.
One of the other stories of this fight so far is the amount of body punches Ben Tackie has thrown, more than we would have anticipated seeing. And some have been very effective. You see Hatton slipping the right hand.
Oh, an elbow by Tackie. It lifted Hatton clear off the canvas.
Good job by Mickey Van not to overreact and take a point away from Tackie. He gave them the appropriate warning.
So a foul by Tackie. We have yet to see the cut situation emerge for Ricky Hatton. It held up well in his last fight, a 9th round TKO over stubborn Argentinian Aldo Rios. But it occurred in the previous fight with Vince Phillips.
What a disciplined performance so far from Ricky Hatton. It's been kind of a revelation because he's doing things that we're not accustomed to see him doing over the course of 2 or 3 rounds.
We're used to seeing the debilitating body shots, but we've seen more boxing and movement than we've seen before out of Hatton. He studies the tapes, he researches.
And he's still getting those body shots in, but he's throwing lots of combinations to the head as well. And the other thing that Hatton's doing is slipping punches. Who knew that was possible?
Showing how elusive he could be on defense. So a good all-around game being projected here by Ricky Hatton.
And while all that's happening, Ben Tackie's being very active as well. Not enough to win these rounds, I don't believe, but he's been active, throwing good punches, though not all getting in.
Tackie, of course, capable of spectacular late knockouts, as we've seen in the past against people like Edwin Santana and Roberto Garcia, but it just never came against Tszyu or Mitchell. Losing in lopsided fashion. No shame, of course, to lose to the great Kostya Tszyu, and Mitchell has never looked better of late. Of course, Tszyu and Mitchell will meet in February here on Showtime. A lot of action from Tackie. Oh, a beautiful left-right combination upstairs by Hatton. The right more effective.
Here's where Tackie threw the right hand that went extraordinarily low. It was an uppercut, and yeah, that was about as low as you can throw a right hand. And Mickey Van did not take a point away, but gave him a warning. The combinations have been the issue for Tackie, as Ricky Hatton not only throws, but then avoids getting hit. And look at, that's the news here. Good double left hook by Ricky Hatton. Tackie's throwing punches, but they're not getting there.
Tackie may feel like he's fighting Shambe Mitchell again. I don't think he quite expected this. Tackie with those ceremonial travel markings carved to his face by his mother when he was 1. Enters this Lion's Den with a reputation as a fearless, relentless ring warrior. From the same land as Azuma Nelson and Ike Cortez.
Tackie throwing the right hand. It has been sparing. You know he's desperate to land that punch. Part of the problem is he's been out-jabbed by Ricky Hatton, and to set up that right hand, he needs to land his own jab. And while all that's happening, Hatton is also throwing some wicked left hooks for the head and the body, and you saw that one there.
Tackie's throwing some shots, too, that Hatton is equal.
This is a scintillating fight. It's fun to watch.
Terrific action. I think they call it toe-to-toe. And obviously Tackie not awed by the atmosphere.
The sheer volume of punches from Ricky Hatton is what's winning him these rounds. He's just throwing more. He's also more accurate than Tackie. He's just outworking him. And it's not that Tackie is inactive in this fight. And at 30, he's showing us that he is not a totally shot-worn fighter. It's just that he never takes a tune-up fight. It's been 5 years since he had anything resembling a tune-up fight.
All tough fights. Wild exchanges here. Look at these body shots, Tackie, as he's going backwards. But here comes Hatton with a beautiful left hook to the jaw.
First time that Tackie has been pinned against the ropes, and actually he's counterpunching pretty well off those ropes.
Hatton shooting off a bunch of uppercuts that are connecting. Now back to the jab to set up the right. Or a combination for Ricky Hatton.
Get your head out, Ricky.
Hatton looking extremely sharp. Tackie coming up short with the overhand right. That's his money punch.
Hatton's doing a lot of holding, and Mickey Van gives him a warning about that. Mickey Van's doing a fine job of refereeing this fight.
Van, a local celebrity of sorts, has his own book out about his life, and a regular for Hatton fights.
The pace they've set in this fight is really extraordinary.
Tackie after the bell. And you'll hear it from the crowd on that one.
Where's the water? Yeah. Hold his hand. Hold his hand. Yeah. Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Bring in the water. Let him have. Now. Your punches are going very slow. Very slow. It's in singles. Let the punches flow. Let it go in twos. Let the punches go in twos, not by ones. Like, you hear? You hear what I'm saying? Keep going. Right. Keep going.
Emmanuel Tego, the The trainer in Tackie's corner really pouring on the Vaseline. And our thanks to Yofi Boham, our translator for Tackie.
You know, the danger for Ricky Hatton in this fight was to get out there and be kind of in between styles. Think he was going to box and not really be able to do that, and certainly not be a slugger. That has not happened to him. He's been the absolute definition of a boxer-puncher.
He has certainly lived up to his word. As we enter round 5 scheduled for 12, Ricky Hatton, a 6-year pro, 33-0 with 25 knockouts in the blue trunks with silver, black, white trim. Ben Tackie, a 10-year veteran, 24 and 4, 15 knockouts, wearing the red with the white and black trim. Hatton goes right back to work.
Here you go, Ben. Well done.
Body shots by Ricky Hatton.
When was the last time you saw two boxers as committed to working the body as these two? We know Hatton's a wonderful body puncher. Ben Tackie has done an excellent job downstairs himself so far in this match. This is about as close a one-sided match as you'll ever see. I think every round's gone to Hatton, and yet they are all interesting rounds.
Hatton showing that he can box as well as slug, and Tackie showing just how tough and durable a warrior he is. Boy, he absorbs a lot of punishment. And that's why people think of him as an old 30 coming into this fight, although he's showing some youthfulness here.
And we would hasten to point out again, Ben Tackie, in his 4 losses, only lost to current or former world champions that he's faced. So he doesn't lose to people who aren't very, very good. This is just a superb performance. Now here's where Hatton has him on the ropes, where we see the Ricky Hatton that we're used to seeing, pushing him against the ropes, keeping him there, and then trying to rip the body in the head. Let's see if the veteran Tackie can avoid that, and so far he has.
Tackie trying to slide off the ropes. He does successfully. He's got a little breathing room now. They're back to the center of the ring. But as you pointed out earlier, it doesn't seem to matter as far as Hatton is concerned. He seems to be able to batter Hatton just like that with a left hook to the jaw, whether he's in the middle of the ring or on the ropes.
Let him go, Ben. Let him go.
Right hand over the top by Hatton. Tackie comes back, but many of these shots being blocked by the hitman. Oh, after the bell, Hatton unleashes a heavy right hand that really takes off Tackie. Tackie did it the last round, but this one was harder by Hatton. To what happened at the end of the 5th round.
Fucking maniac, you know what I mean? Don't get involved in a war with him. Just what you do is perfect. Because you know he's something to the body. So just fucking keep doing what you do.
Well, I don't know if it was retaliation, if it was actually on the mind of Hatton to do that because of what happened to him the previous round, but so be it. It's round 6.
Right, that's one apiece. That's even Steven, all right? We're on anymore.
And Mickey Van has a little chat with the two men. And Tackie really goes to town now to start round 6. Right hand lands by Hatton. They're going to have to stop it momentarily because there's tape dangling from Hatton's glove. They got to do something about the loose tape now. Mickey Van, a busy man. And now they continue. a ferocious pace to this fight.
So this place is so loud, hard for us to hear in between the rounds, hard to hear the referee, but I'll tell you what everyone knows. There's electricity in this building, and it is coming not just from the crowd, but from these two fighters who are both performing at a very high level.
And on top of the heavy volume of punches, there's now a trickle of bad blood as a result of those punches after the bell. And now Mickey Vann has a word for Ben Tackie about low blows. Already warned before.
You know, Tackie came out in this round committed to throwing the right hand, and we've seen him throw it more, and he nailed Hatton with several of them. So his focus on that right hand is a positive sign for him. Look at Hatton, though. This is a different Ricky Hatton. He had Tackie against the ropes. Instead of staying there and trying to battle it out, he landed 3 punches, then moved out.
And Tackie cannot let up for a second because Hatton just is relentless.
You know, Steve, this has been Ben Tackie's best round of the fight. Whether he won it remains to be seen. Wow.
Tackie shaken up there, rattled by that combination to the body and head by Hatton. Tackie over the top, but his right had nothing behind it.
Watch your heads, keep them out.
The heads come perilously close, and that's not good for Hatton in particular. He's at a point now where he goes straight to a plastic surgeon after the fight. He doesn't even worry about the cut man anymore. He had 17 stitches after the Phillips fight.
The body punches of Hatton are starting to have an impact on Ben Tackie. And I think before when he was shook, it was from a body shot.
Let him go, Ricky. Let him go.
Hatton lets rip with a body shot on the break. And those have to be wearing Tackie down. The accumulative effect.
Well done, son.
What a jab displayed tonight by Ricky Hatton.
His performance so far in this fight is remarkable because it is so different.
So far, it's a masterpiece.
And he stole that round away from Tackie.
Let's go inside the ropes with Al Bernstein and take a look at this body work by the hitman.
It is the trademark of Ricky Hatton, and you see him ripping downstairs with the rights and the lefts. And even though he's not pushing Tackie against the ropes, in the center of the ring, he's able to land these hellacious body shots. And we saw in the last round how it really started to debilitate Ben Tackie. Those are just fantastic shots downstairs.
Corners, 10 seconds.
And it is a shame we cannot hear in the corners. Obviously, the British Board of Control will not allow microphones in there, so we're doing our best to try and sneak in, but with our camera mic, but of course we're not going to be able to hear everything with this noise.
Halfway through, Al, your unofficial tally.
I have got every round for Ricky Hatton.
It has been a virtuoso performance by the hitman here in front of his adoring hometown fans. Ricky Hatton in Manchester. 30 seconds gone by round 7.
I have it 60-54. And the last round, I would have scored for Ben Tackie, but the last minute was dominated so much by Ricky Hatton that I just couldn't score it for Tackie.
Hatton perhaps taking out his frustrations of Manchester City's loss to arch rival Manchester United earlier today.
It was a big deal here.
It sure was. And so was that flurry by Hatton. And another right hand over the top. That nails Tackie. Big sequence for Hatton. Also doing a great job defensively, although he just walked into a right hand.
And while we think of the left hook as Hatton's primary power punch, he's shown a very, very good right hand during this fight as well.
And doing an excellent job is Hatton defending against Tackie's vaunted right hand. He's blocking it, he's eluding it, doing everything to avoid it.
The head movement of Hatton in this fight has by far been his best.
Press row scoring.
They're pretty much on board with me, and Pat Sheen has it scored exactly as I do, 60-54.
Ron Lewis representing the Times, Pat Sheen, the Sun, and Dave Smith, the Evening Standard, local papers here in the area. We approach the final minute of round 7. Tackie's so game.
I'm watching them punches go down. It's your arm out, Ben.
24-4, 15 knockouts. Losses to Goyo Vargas, John Molina, Koskizu, and Shambe Mitchell. 33-0, 11-0 here in Manchester with 8 knockouts.
The difference in this fight right now is the hand speed and foot speed of Ricky Hatton. He's simply younger and quicker, and he's getting his punches there better than Ben Tackie.
That's exactly what burned Tackie against Shambe Mitchell. The hand speed and the foot speed. And Mitchell's power as well, as Tackie did go down for the first time. This crowd really into it, urging Hatton on. It's as if it's the first round for Ricky Hatton, the way he has looked. Unbelievable conditioning.
Tackie continues to go downstairs to the body, which he hopes will pay dividends as this fight goes on, but you wonder the way Hatton's going.
Crowd of about 12,000 or so, we would estimate, looking up.
Keep him off balance. He tells you to stay close inside. If he starts swinging, stop the swing.
As this fight wears on, we're seeing a little more of Ricky Hatton being able to push Tackie to the ropes. Look at that. That is vintage Ricky Hatton. Once he's got him there, he lands a nice combination. So we're seeing a little bit of the old Ricky Hatton, lots of the new Ricky Hatton, and the combination is irresistible, especially to his fans.
It has been a one-sided affair for hometown hero Ricky Hatton. But you just can't question the courage of Ben Tackie. Standing in there and trading with this superb body puncher who is also taking it to the next level in terms of boxing and movement tonight. There are still questions about Ricky Hatton if he goes up against the real big boys of boxing. Like, how hard does he actually hit? And does he have a plan B against the higher echelon if plan A doesn't work?
Well, I think we're seeing evidence tonight that he does have a plan B. It may not work against everyone, but we see that all the movement that he talked about, the angles, you know, he idolizes Roberto Duran, and even when we've seen it happen before, he's very good at giving fighters angles. He's just doing it in the center of the ring more than he does it when he puts them on the ropes now.
Well, tonight looking to prove that he belongs in there with the Shambe Mitchells of the world. Of course, the man to beat at 140 is Koskizu. But he'd love to get in there with Arturo Gatti. And if Gatti...
think there would be any action in that fight?
Just a tad. You don't think that would be a fans fight or a great TV fight? Unbelievable.
He is throwing left uppercuts that are so fast. He's throwing them from a position they shouldn't land. He's still getting those punches in.
Tackie's just not seeing them come. Gatti is next to fight Gianluca Branco, and Hatton is the next available contender for the winner of that fight. He can also fight the winner of Vivian Harris, Octay or Cal who gave Zoo some problems a few years ago, although Zoo won. But the big fight coming up in this division, of course, is in February here on Showtime. Zoo versus Mitchell in Moscow, Russia. Under 40 seconds remaining, round 8. It's scheduled for 12 for the WBU junior welterweight title. Ricky Hatton, number 2 WBA, number 3 WBC. This is 11th defense of the WBU. Heavy right hand to the top by Hatton.
You see, Hatton is not a one-punch knockout artist, especially with his right hand. But the accumulation of those right hands is making a big difference, and he's throwing it straighter than he has in the past.
And remember, Tackie has never been stopped in his career, and that is something Tackie Hatton would love to accomplish here tonight.
You are fighting a good fight. Let the jab flow. Now let the jab go. Now do with your jab. Do with the jab. Let it start from here with the jab. Right. Take off the...
Ricky Hatton has used every single punch in his arsenal. There's kind of a left uppercut, half hook, and then here's another uppercut on the inside. Really, he has used such an array of punches in this fight, and that's one of the things that has made this an excellent performance.
Now there was a look on Tackie's face in the corner. I don't want to say of resignation, but a look that would translate to, oh no, not again.
Yeah, you know, here he is in the third straight. I mean, he fought Mitchell, he fought Zoo, he's fought almost all tough people, and now here he is in a third straight fight against somebody he just can't seem to figure out.
But he's trying. Oh, is he trying?
Yeah.
Come on.
He gets right in there and digs, but it's frustrating. He can't get his right in. Tackie's too fast for him defensively, or Hatton is. And Hatton's landing with a lot of punches, wearing Tackie down. And he's getting a lot of headshots in there.
Remember that Hatton, who has a new nutritionist now and says he is as fit as he's ever been, as this fight wears on, we're seeing evidence of that. We're here in round 9, and Ricky Hatton looks about as fresh as you could possibly look.
He says, Al, the biggest difference with that nutritionist is he can now eat whatever he wants.
Drinking lots of fluids, he said, and it's just a program that's worked well for him.
Left hand by Tackie, that scored. And that drew a roar from this crowd. And that slowed Hatton down just a sec. Hatton comes right back, misses with the left, and then they barrel into the ropes. Hatton just bodily, physically taking him where he wants. And body shot that upstairs, a double left combination, and then a left hook upstairs by Hatton. It's been a combination of body shots, jabbing, headshots, uppercuts by Hatton, his entire repertoire.
Here we are in round 9, and Ricky Hatton is as committed to that jab as he was in round 1. And it's very rare for a fighter to somewhat alter his style and stay with it for a whole fight. They may come in with that idea, but they seldom stick with it, and he has done so.
And he's taking advantage of Tackie's wide-open, flat-footed stance, which he said he would. That hand speed of Hatton, left-right combination to the head. And then a left hand to the neck area by Ricky Hatton. That had to hurt.
And no signs of any cutting by Ricky Hatton. He's been hit with some headshots, certainly, but that's not an issue right now.
And now Hatton complaining of a low blow there. Tackie's had a few warnings in that department.
Come on, Tanya.
Hatton had problems over his right eye in the Vince Phillips fight. 17 stitches. The bell sounds. Let's get a report from Steve Farhood.
Stephen Al, Billy Graham, the trainer of Ricky Hatton, is very, very happy with everything that's happened so far. He's preaching patience and discipline to his fighter. The only thing he's warning Ricky, he doesn't want him standing on the outside too much. They're worried about Ben Tackie's hook, not his right hand. But discipline and patience, and he's following the instructions very well.
All right, Steve, thanks very much.
Here is where Ricky Hatton lands the nice left hook to the head of Ben Tackie, and he's been able to get that left hook in on a fairly regular basis. Wonderful work in the corner. You know why? They see that Ben Tackie is cranking up that hook more often, and instead of sticking with what they know about him, they alter what they're telling Ricky Hatton, and they are right. He's probably safer on the inside than the outside in some instances against him.
As we enter into round number 10, scheduled for 12 for the WBU 140-pound championship. Relentless attack to the body, now a right hand to the head by Hatton. It's amazing, almost everything Hatton throws will land. Such a target out.
Ben Tackie has pulled fights out in the past, like against Roberto Garcia when he was way behind. I don't know if this could be one of those times, but he has had good power late in fights, in the Garcia fight, which of course you did, was a perfect example of it.
He was taking a lot of hits in that fight, as he did with Edwin Santana, and he pulled those out with spectacular 10th round knockouts. Prestro has Hatton winning easily, as you would expect. Minute 40 left, round 10. But you're right, just like in the Zoo and Mitchell fights, you just get the feeling that the other guy is in so much control, like Ricky Hatton. It's not going to happen. Right hands by Tackie.
And that was right after an excellent right-handed landed by Hatton, but didn't slow Tackie up, even though it was a perfect straight right hand.
The last fight, Tackie was dropped by Mitchell with a straight left hand in round 11. But in tribute to his toughness, he got up and became the aggressor. That's the kind of fighter he is, although he's been struggling, losing the last two.
Tackie is now in a danger area because he's lunging with a lot of his punches, leaving himself wide open and getting hit with some really big counter. And look how wide that hook is by Tackie. His technique has really gone south on him now.
You really have to give Ricky Hatton a lot of credit. He did not revert to his old style, although he's been effective with body punches as well, but very effective as a boxer, out-skilling, not only out-physically Tackie.
I don't remember a fight fought at this pace over a 10-round period for a while. I mean, these fighters have fought at a very, very brisk pace.
It has been non-stop aggression. Bell, Tackie lands with a right, and Hatton didn't like that one bit. But that was right at the bell this time.
Okay. Now, take the water into your mouth. Have water. That's how you should fight. You see how you fought with him in this round? Repeat that. Repeat that tragedy. Repeat that. Yeah.
Let's take a look at the end of the round. Right on the bell.
I think it was, but Ricky Hatton still has the bad taste in his mouth from earlier when the Tackie landed a right after the bell. And here comes Tackie. What is he doing round 11? Comes out throwing a lead right hand. And really, if he has any hope to win this fight, he's going to need to throw that punch and just throw it with abandon and hope something good happens.
Two bundles of energy.
Oh, my.
A ferocious pace. Tackie looking to turn things around dramatically here.
Had Ricky Hatton off balance.
But Hatton quickly recovers.
Right, come on again.
Hatton has been 12 rounds twice and won both those fights. Tackie has been 12 rounds 4 times and is 1 and 3 in those fights.
And it looks as if Tackie, Al, is throwing it all out there here in round 11. As you would say, hell-bent in leather.
That's how I describe Hatton style, and maybe Ben Tackie too tonight.
Yeah, now it's Tackie's turn.
You can't resist those Western references.
That's right. You're an old cowboy. Look at the championship action. Good left hook to the head by Hatton. So quick. The hand speed. Again, Tackie just never saw it. Those are usually shots that produce knockdown. But with Tackie, it's a different story.
And you know, it's a misnomer to think that Ricky Hatton has not gone to the body like he always does. He's just done it from a different posture. We're used to seeing people pinned against the ropes for 15, 20, 30, 40 seconds, and him doing that. Now he's doing it in the center of the ring and doing it in spurts when he has Tackie pushed against the ropes.
Do you think that Ricky Hatton, with this kind of overwhelming lead, is putting himself at risk by training with this
But
guy?
he can't fight in a different kind of fight. He's in danger on the end of the Tackie right hands and left hook. So he needs to fight this kind of pace. He's not fighting with wild abandon. He's just being aggressive. So he's actually safer a little more on the inside.
And also in the back of his mind, perhaps he wants to go down as the first man to stop Ben Tackie.
He told us that. He said, you know, Mitchell and Zoo fought like they didn't want to knock Tackie out.
All 4 of Tackie's losses were by decision. He's never been stopped. Wicked right cross to the head by Hatton.
You know what was the most impressive thing about that combination? At the end of it, Tackie threw a right hand and Hatton slipped it. That's what we're not used to seeing from him.
This one, shades of Azuma Nelson, Jeff Fennick won. You remember that one? Great action. As this crowd just erupts with glee. Ironically, Tackie, a cousin of Azuma Nelson.
Right. Go and knock him out. Wonder this is the last round. Throw your hands. Let your hands through. Throw flurry of punches. This is the last round.
Ricky Hatton using the jab to set up that big right hand, and then look at him. He slips the right hand by Tackie, and so that was as perfect a sequence for Hatton as you could want. Not only did he use the jab to set up the straight right hand, he showed us defensive skills as well. That's this fight in microcosm.
They touch gloves for the 12th and final round. Ricky Hatton well ahead on points, but he wants to put Tackie away anyway. And Ben Tackie hopes he's got one more spectacular knockout left in him. Because that looks like the only way he could win.
When Ben Tackie has been in these kind of wars with the likes of the Ray Oliveras, Luis Lejas, people of that ilk, he's won because they were a level below Ricky Hatton in truth. And he was maybe just a smidge younger. He's giving it all he can here. He just doesn't have the skill level right now to beat a Ricky Hatton.
Is it because he is past his prime, the wars have caught up to him, or is it because of the skill level of his opponent, or a combination?
I think it's a combination of both those things. Ben Tackie would still beat many of those junior welterweights in the second tier, most of them really, but he will not beat the Hattons and obviously the Zeus and the Mitchells right now.
Hatton just spins him around and connects with the right hand of the nose.
And as you look at this last round and think ahead for Ricky Hatton, I don't think it's hyperbole to say he has absolutely proven his point. He has proven that he is a junior welterweight to watch. He's a junior welterweight who is not one-dimensional, who can do many things, and against anyone, he would be very interesting.
So you are saying that Ricky Hatton has stepped up to the next level?
I believe so.
Again, the tape dangling loose on Hatton's glove.
We used to think of Ricky Hatton in truth as a very aggressive, not so good defensive fighter who we had many questions about. Now he's not that. He may still lose against somebody in that division, but it won't be because he's not skilled.
He's got Tackie pinned against the ropes. No knockdown. Tackie did go down, but on a slip in the first. Can Ricky Hatton be the first to stop Ben Tackie? He's got 40 seconds to go. 30 seconds. He's trying, but it's tough to choke Tackie down. 10 seconds. Get ready to hear a roar from this lion's den in a couple of seconds. Ricky Hatton's parents. He jumps into their arms as the crowd exults. Get in there, Ricky. Not easy. The crowd saluting the hitman.
He is an engaging young man, isn't he?
In and out of the ring, but not to his opponent.
This was meant to be a statement fight by Ricky Hatton, and I don't know how anyone could say it wasn't.
Now hugging 15-year-old James Bowes, who unfortunately is suffering from a brain disorder, but providing tremendous inspiration for Ricky Hatton throughout. The embrace with Ben Tackie. Little kiss on the cheek. Great sportsmanship afterwards.
Ben Tackie fought a spirited and at times very good fight. It just wasn't enough against Ricky Hatton. And while that man, Ben Tackie, will not again be a contender, he will keep being a good junior welterweight if he fights a little longer.
Tackie blowing kisses to the crowd, loving the adoration. The crowd really does love him. He's one of them. He's a blue-collar fighter in a blue-collar town. But today he showed a little dazzle, aside from pop. He showed some terrific technical skills. We're set to get the scorecard results as we get it up to our ring announcer. The always dapper Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of boxing, the judges are in agreement. We have a unanimous decision. Here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, Tony Walker, scores the bout 118 to 110. Judges Jean-Louis Legland and Eddie Marshall both score the bout the same at 120 to 109. All three in favor of the winner, and still undefeated, the WBU light welterweight champion, Ricky the Hitman Hatton.
So a lopsided decision for Ricky the Hitman Hatton, who improves to 34-0, remains with 25 knockouts. He couldn't stop Ben Tackie, who still hasn't been stopped in his 29 career fights. He falls to 24-5. Ricky Hatton with another win in front of his adoring fans here in Manchester. Now 12-0 in his hometown, retains his WBU title. He speaks.
We've done it again, and I'd like to thank you for your support all year round. You're the best fans in the world. I want you to all have a Merry Christmas, and we're going to go for it next year. I give a round of applause to Ben Tackie, Truth Warrior. Thank you.
Very gracious winner. Ricky Hatton also having the crowd salute Ben Tackie. 11th successful defense of the WBU belt. Now we wonder what's on the horizon for this young man who fought so beautifully tonight against a very valiant fighter from Ghana. As mentioned, he's the top available contender for Gatti versus Bronco. And now Ben Tackie makes his exit from the ring, showing a lot of guts and heart, and of course durability as he heads back to his dressing room. And he hears it from the crowd. You can hear it in the background. Nice sportsmanship from the local Ricky Hatton fans. Well, the feeling is that tonight could pave the way to an eventual shot at former world champion Shambe Mitchell. In terms of Ricky Hatton, time will tell.
It's a talent-rich division, that's for sure, and now Ricky Hatton has made it clear that he belongs in the upper echelon.
Let's review the official judges' scorecard. Jean-Louis Legland, who happens to be one of the top chefs in all of France, cooked up this score, 121.09. Sorry, I had to say it. Eddie Marshall and Tony Walker also saw it in Hatton's favor. Legland and Marshall saw it exactly the same way. And a look, Al, at the press row scoring. Pretty much in agreement with the official ringside judges. Let's go to Steve Farhood right now with Ricky Hatton.
Ricky, such a controlled and disciplined performance. Was that the key?
Definitely, yeah. I know I said I was going to go toe-to-toe with Ben Tackie, but I think a good fighter, you know, doesn't set his tactics out before the fight. I think he sees how the fight goes and acts accordingly, and I think that's what I did in the fight.
As the rounds mounted and you knew you were ahead, was it tempting to try for the knockout, to try to be the first man to stop Tackie? It was tempting. I think I caught him with a couple of shots that stiffened his leg, but as I've seen in previous fights, he's as strong near the end as he is in the beginning, you know, so I thought, you know, don't take any chances. I was a miles ahead. I still felt I was winning the rounds, but I was doing what I needed to do to win, and I was showing Ben Tackie the respect he deserved, to be honest. You boxed so much, there were even points in the fight where you backed him to the ropes, where you stepped back, or you grabbed him at close range. You really wanted to fight this fight as a boxer, didn't you? Well,
yeah, I mean, you know, I know I said I wanted to go toe-to-toe, but you know, you see what happens when you get in there, and I felt it was necessary just to box and take no chances. Who knows, you know, maybe if I'd have took a few more chances, he might have peeled one off and nailed me with one, you know. So I think good champions, you know, do what they need to do to win, and I think that's what I did.
Let's see the hands. Were there problems?
There was problems. I mean, I'm not going to, you know, give it that old chestnut that, you know, my hand was broken, whatever round. But I mean, I think they're just sore from the constant pounding that I give him. I mean, he's got to have the biggest and hardest head I've ever seen in my whole life, and I think my hand's a testament to that.
Now we have to ask about the future, because this was a statement from you. When and who?
Well, I'd like to think I'll get a bit more credit for that. You know, a lot know me as the come forward, marauding body puncher, and I think I showed something different tonight. And I'm really looking forward to fighting in the States. I think Shanbei Mitchell, who's fighting Kostya Tszyu, I think in February, I mean, he's deservedly earned his shot by beating the likes of Vince Phillips and Ben Tackie, which I've done. So I'd like to think, you know, along with my world rankings, I'm knocking on the door of you know, one of the big showdowns.
What statement did you make, especially to the American public tonight?
Well, I think Ricky Hatton's a little bit more than a come forward body puncher. I think you know, tonight, you know, I needed to box a little bit more, you know, and that's what I did. I think I showed a good jab, good footwork, good movement. A couple of times he was really gambling and started off the rounds fast, and I nullified his work, and as the rounds went on, eased my way back into the rounds again, which I think a good fighter should do, and hopefully that will go noticed, and, you know, I'll get the respect, you know, I deserve slowly but surely. I think I'm improving still.
Fantastic performance, Ricky. We wish you a great holiday.
Thank you, and yourself.
And before